One is a bastard and the other's a prick. Argue over tunneling shtick. One is a shyster and the other's a bum. Maybe doesn't matter which one. One is an idiot, it might be both of them. Shut up, dude.
The following is a conversation with Elvis Shredley, a guitarist and broadcaster. We discuss digging, bracing, ventilation, and other tunneling topics. I'm CIA agent Lex Friedman. Do you like Lex Friedman, bro? Oh, this is Shut Up, Dude. It's not really the Lex Friedman podcast at all.
Well, you did have us in the first half.
Yeah. Do you like Lex Friedman, bro?
I kind of do, but he does seem like
a CIA asset?
Yeah,
I think he is.
Or some three-letter agency.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, all of them.
He's up to something, that guy.
He's like YouTube Epstein.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's like been sent in to gather intel on everyone.
Did you hear him? I heard him interview some old Jewish Yahoo. Netanyahu. I heard him interview Netanyahu.
You didn't even do that on purpose.
Which, bro, it was kind of interesting in some ways. It was interesting seeing who Netanyahu is.
Oh, he actually was.
Bro.
Interviewing Netanyahu.
And you ask yourself, why? But because he's CIA, bro. Because Friedman's CIA. So he's interviewing Netanyahu. And Netanyahu's like, you can hear in his voice, he's a killer, bro. Like, you hear him talk to Friedman, and he's like, the answers that he gives are just like forceful in a way that Lex doesn't know what to do, and he just gets steamrolled by this. He's a fucking hard ass, man. He's just kind of a scary dude.
I think he's a scary dude.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem someone you want to fuck with.
No. No.
Like,
I mean, he's in charge of Mossad and...
Have you seen the new graffiti going up around the world in relation to Israel?
No.
It's a Star of David that they've turned into a swastika, and this is what happens when you become what you hate. And that's street talk graffiti. That's not memes and stuff. This is like subways having these big intricate Star of Davids that have a swastika through it, and this is what happens when you become what you hate.
That's
pretty dark, eh?
That's pretty confronting. But they do have this, like, their win condition is kind of amorphous, because they're like, we won't stop, like, Palestinian statehood is not part of, like, we won't accept any deal that has that in it. Like, they could give all our hostages back, but if they want to be a real country, nah, that's not going to be enough to stop us bombing the hospitals.
That's why it's fucked up.
They're like, we have to have complete and total victory over Hamas, but they are kind of saying that just the regular people are Hamas.
I seriously think there's something fucked up with it, in that everybody's too scared to be like, you fellas can't do that, and they're like, we've been under attack forever.
Yeah.
It's like, that doesn't mean that you get to turn into what you hate. It's like how America was like, everyone's a terrorist, and then over time it's like, oh, it looks like America are the fucking terrorists. Yeah, we were persecuted by the Nazis. This is bullshit. And fuck these guys. And then it's after time, you're like, hey, you're turning into that thing,
bro. There's such wild conspiracy theories about the Jews. There's one where the Holocaust. Okay, the Holocaust. It did happen. But it was perpetrated by the Jews to give them permission to do whatever they want for the rest of time.
Yeah, bro.
But that's a pretty wild theory, and not one that I subscribe to. But they're out there.
That's the, like, ultimate 9/11.
Yeah, bro.
Do it to yourself.
Hardest
so you can do what you want. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's that Project Bluebeam's the same shit. You know, when it's, there's aliens, and it's all holograms and shit to make everybody think aliens are real, and we need to unite to fight the aliens, make the one world government. That's like a 9/11 times a million.
Yeah. I do like measuring stuff in 9/11.
Oh, it's so funny. It's so ratchetly funny.
That's what they did in Israel after October 7th. They were like, if you think about it, it's kind of like we had 5 9/11s all in one day.
It's really funny to me that people are like, oh, these guys believe in this, these guys believe in that. It's like, they believe in money. That's what's the driving force behind all of these fucking things are.
Well,
like when you find out
but the upper echelons of it, I think, would be money, but the rank and file is just, They're just brainwashed.
Yeah,
Those guys are wearing the wrong
I think
hats.
it's the top of the pile as well.
Yeah.
In regards to any sort of like conspiracy of,
Yeah.
oh, these fellas have got the Illuminati and all that. I don't think that's how it works. I think there's too many corporate fellas trying to make their own money off it.
Yeah.
For there to be some sort of group that all hangs out or something.
I always think that you should focus on the evil that you can see. Like we can deal with all the hidden, like sinister cabals later. The concentration of wealth and power is really happening. It's happening out in the open. We could deal with that.
Well, that's why it's funny to look at the conspiracy theories getting pushed so hard over the last few years, so that now if you talk to like a boomer about concentration of wealth, you're a tinfoil hat person.
Really?
You know, they think, no, that's not how it works.
No, they wouldn't do
and
that.
That's like conspiracies bleed into like what they think is real and reality and nothing else. And then you're like, hey, do you know all these cunts have the money? And they're like, oh yeah, and chemtrails. And you're like,
yeah.
No, like there's legitimate proof that this is what these guys do.
Yeah.
Oh, do they? And you're like,
it all perfectly lines up. They have the means, the motive, and the opportunity.
You're fucking defeated with your boomer attitude and the fact that you didn't get to be an All Black.
Oh, they're
you're jaded as, and
they're
now
winning.
they're winning, but you can't tell them anything because they're happy where they are. So yeah, everything's a fucking bullshit lie if it's derogatory to what they think. Yeah, but the idea of like you try and talk about concentrations of wealth and corporations doing weird shit, or even that lobbying stuff you brought up last week.
Sure, everybody loved that.
Yeah, and everyone's like, nah, that can't be real. And it's like this isn't even the conspiracy shit. Yeah, this isn't trying to say the reptiles from another dimension have to eat babies.
This is out in the open. The people under a capitalist system, those who have the most capital are seeking to increase the amount of capital they have and can get. It's not fucking complicated.
Yeah, and for some reason that counts into conspiracy. And it's like, that's so fucked up because, like, I don't think we have an overlap in that. We both know and think that the concentration wealth thing is a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I go and talk to someone else about it, like an older person or family member, that can't be real. Why can't it be real? Because that sentence is, it can't be real. Because if it is, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
That's what they're really saying.
You'd be in big trouble.
Yeah, hey guy that brings up stuff that I don't want to believe. Yeah, that's like Christians finding out, oh, there's no Jesus, oh, so I can just beat up people and rape as much as I want. And say, yeah, you can, but the amount you want to do that should be zero. Yeah. I think that's
for a lot of us it is.
Penn Jillette. I think that's one of his quotes.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that guy's great with this.
Yeah, but it's so weird that there's like, conspiracy followers and real smart people both click onto that concentration of wealth thing, and yet it gets dismissed as tinfoil hat shit. I find
Interesting.
that
I don't
weird.
know anybody who doesn't think that's happening. Like anybody personally. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it out on some people.
Yeah, see what they reckon. Because you like if you bring up that concentration of wealth thing and then bring up flat Earth, you'll probably get more engagement because it's funny. Yeah, but that because the concentration of wealth thing's so ratchet and big and been going on for years, people don't want to look at that.
No, I'm sure they don't.
Yeah.
What terrifies me is that Gen X, after the boomers have basically sold us out to the financiers, once they die off, Gen X will be like, we got to have a bit of a turn. Like we've suffered. These were our fucking parents. We suffered through this whole time. We got to have a turn, and they'll just finish off what the boomers couldn't do.
Oh, I can see it.
And I don't know if any of that's news. There was a news story that I wanted to talk about, bro. Did you see that video of that American cop? And he's got a suspect in his car. And an acorn falls on his car, and he goes, "I'm hit! Shots fired!"
Bro, what a loser!
Fucking runs and dives, and then he empties his whole magazine like sideways, just
into the
car in a suburban neighborhood
where the guy he just searched and arrested is sitting.
Shit, dude.
Bro, that means that cop was like, he had a gun in his ass and he's fired it. Like, what if he had to process in his brain to think the guy he's just handcuffed and arrested and put in the back of his car has opened fire on him?
I don't know. He just heard that clack sound, and he's like, empty full clip. Gotta
fire that guy.
Yeah, well, he can't do that.
They fucking need to.
Nah, they got over there. They've got crazy unions. So basically, if you fire a cop, the union sues the department.
Yes.
So they know that if they're going to fire a cop, it's probably going to cost them $20 million.
That's why these cops don't care.
Yeah,
they can do what they want.
They can do what they want. Yeah, they can do what they want here too.
I said these.
Yeah,
all of them.
I mean, they've got guns here, not on their hips, but in their cars.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to use them. They shoot couriers and dogs and stuff.
Why can't you persecute or fire a cop for being a ratchet cunt at his job?
You can.
Why don't they?
They do
like
sometimes.
You said about the
the
New Zealand one?
Yeah.
Every single investigation has turned out nothing was ever wrong?
Yeah. Well, even if they find something wrong, our independent police conduct authority doesn't have the ability to prosecute. They've got to go back to the cops and go...
And
We've decided this cop did something wrong. We'd like you to charge him. They go, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, what part of, like, can you just not have the guards of society get in trouble because they've caused so much trouble that if you took every legitimate complaint seriously, there'd be no money left to pay these people these cunts have hurt? Or are you keeping up this bullshit English image that the crown is the top and infallible, and because that's what it feels like.
I think
it feels like if they have one guy be like the acorn guy.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the fucking squirrel of Ice Age? The acorn guy.
Yeah, sure, bro.
Yeah, because that's what he acted and reacted like.
Yeah.
Emptied a clip in, and that guy was like, "I'm not hit, but I am pretty traumatized."
Yeah,
because 10 fucking bullets ripped through your car through a car. You were being arrested and for no reason.
Yeah,
I reckon
that guy was trying to kill you.
Yeah, I reckon the reason they can't or they don't prosecute or fire them more publicly is because it, in some weird boomer thing, it's like, no, we have full control of this and we are in charge.
What's the thin blue line, right?
Yeah, and if anything is to ever confront that, wow, who knows what chaos would descend on us. It's like, just because you talk in that cadence doesn't mean the rest of us don't think you're a fucking idiot. You're all shit. You fellas are power mad dickheads. That's like, how many songs have come out being like, the cops suck, fuck them.
Yeah.
Heaps. Yeah, heaps. And everybody has a problem with them. If you see a police car, you don't think, oh, wicked, I'm about to be protected and served.
Yeah.
No.
Bro, when they write it on the side of the car, it's like, I mean, if you were really doing it, you probably...
I like that Transformers one when the bad Transformer takes over a cop car and protect and serve changes to enslave and destroy.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you should have just left those on there.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're doing. But it's so weird that every single government, it's like, nah.
There's a famous
we didn't do it wrong.
There's a famous US Supreme Court case where this lady got a restraining order against her ex-husband who ended up was still harassing her. She's calling the cops. He eventually goes and kidnaps her kids, kills her kids while she's at the police station going, he has my kids, he's texting me saying he's going to kill them. They didn't help her. And she took them to court over it like, you're the cops, for God's sake. Yeah, well, the Supreme Court ruling is the cops don't have to protect you. That's not their job. Mm-hmm. Their job is to show up afterwards and write it down. Yep. They do not have a duty to protect you.
The cops' job is to appear like the people in charge give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's what they're there for. And smack you the fuck down if you starting to look a little flash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, fuck that.
I remember my dad telling me when I was younger, like when I expressed kind of anti-police sentiment, which is kind of coming up in me as a younger man. He was like, man, when you really need them, you'll be really thankful that they exist. And that has never happened to me. I've needed them lots of times, and I've never been satisfied. If I was filling out a survey, it's somewhat mostly dissatisfied.
When I got arrested, bro, the dude that did my fingerprints, he recognized me.
What'd you get arrested for?
I beat up a girl. I think. I can't remember. The girl wasn't the one pushing the charges because she hit me first, so it was the cops that were pushing the charges.
Right.
Yeah, interesting one when she rings up and's like, can he be left alone? And they're like, no. So this didn't happen. And the cops are like, we've got enough.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And then rang me and were like, don't fucking talk to her or you'll be in more trouble. And I was like, okay, what do I do when she calls me? And they're like, block her number.
Right.
Okay. And okay, so in regards to the person who you're saying I beat up that still wants to be with me, nah, and we'll see you in court Thursday. I was like, okay.
That is wild.
And then they went through my entire flat, interviewed everybody. Everyone was like, this is what happened. And one guy was like, oh, Jared is a bit of a dick. And they took his thing.
Oh, you fuckers.
Then they spelt my name wrong through everything.
Yeah.
And
So you got off on a technicality?
Nope.
Yeah.
And then when I got interviewed, I was throwing up in the bin because I'd been drinking.
Yeah.
And the cops took that as totally sweet as you can totally get someone who's so intoxicated they're throwing up and get them to admit to
Give
something.
them a statement,
And,
yeah.
Yeah, the lawyer who I talked to afterwards was like, if you really wanted to cause some shit, you could get them for your name being wrong, interviewing you while you're intoxicated.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many things. And I just, at the time, I was like, I'm so over it.
Yeah.
The kicker here was when I got my fingerprints done, the cop, one of the cops recognized me and was like, you work at the music store. And I was like, can we move this along, cuz? He goes, you got pretty big hands, bro. How do you do barcodes? I went, what you do, bro, is you go to the music store and you pay me $20 an hour to explain it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this now.
Yeah, I reckon,
And
bro.
he was like,
That's
"Fuck,
shocking.
sorry, bro. That is pretty bad."
Yeah.
And then I was, a year or two later, I was skateboarding to my job at the music store.
Right.
And as I'm skating, a fucking cop car does a Yui and pulls over, lights on. And I'm like, what the fuck have I done now? The window comes down, and it's the same cop who's like, pentatonic scales. I'm like, bro, this is the most abusive power I've ever seen. Go fuck yourself, dude. And he's like, I don't get it. And I'm like, go to the music store, ask for Jared, and pay him $20 an hour,
bro.
and I'll show you.
Yeah.
Well, about 3 months later, bro, fella shows up at the music store, and I'm like, do you want guitar lessons? And he's like, I actually quit. I'm like, what? He goes,
You quit guitar?
he goes, no, I quit being a cop.
Ah, that's
When
great.
I was like 18, I'd smoke weed all the time, and I got this new girlfriend, and she was like, you're doing something with your life. And I said, I don't know what. And she filled out my paperwork and emailed it in, and I got accepted to police college, and that's
shit,
how I
dude.
became a cop.
Wow.
It's been the worst 5 years of my life, and I hated it. But when you gave me shit about how I should just go get lessons, I was like, why am I doing this? And yeah.
So what, now he's like a chill dude playing guitar somewhere?
On a beach, bro. Yeah, moved to some Naui, I think, like, and just chills now. Nice ass guy, wonderful ass. You'd never know he was a cop.
True.
But yeah, it's like, I feel like one of those, you know, like the black dude who gets the Ku Klux Klan guys to resign.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
I know
I've
that
got
guy.
one cop.
Yeah.
yeah. But if I sit down with
That's
a few,
great,
it would be
bro.
very interesting.
Hey,
to
man,
see.
if you can make that happen, that'd be amazing.
And it wasn't like he wanted to be a cop. Like another instance when I had to deal with the police, I got Project X'd, where someone has a party at your house and they put it on Facebook. Yeah, I didn't know that it was happening.
Right.
And then just cunt after cunt after cunt starts showing up. And we ended up having a big ordeal and got them away. And the cops showed up, and this dude, main cop was like, what do you fucking think we care, man? You're the one that had a party. And I was like, nah, dude, this was meant to be like 10 people. They put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
And his whole demeanor changed. He pulled out leather gloves, smacked his knuckles together, and turned to the other cops and was like, let's go get these kids. And I was like, yeah, I feel like I've just sicked a mongrel mob on someone that owed me money or something. Yeah, so I felt so bad for those kids. I don't know if they
you've
ever
let
got
slip
caught.
the
but-
pigs of war.
Yeah, it was meant to be like, hey, you're supposed to be here and organize and sort shit. Nah, they don't do any of that, bro. They don't. And I feel sorry for people who want to be cops because that's a noble pursuit, but I think it's tied up in bullshit.
I thought I wanted to be a cop when I was little, bro.
I did the training when I was 17.
No shit.
And I was about to go and do it, and one of my cousins was like,
You'd be a terrible cop.
one of my cousins was like, you realize you're never allowed to come around here. I don't want to see you.
No.
No one would want to talk to you. And I was like,
No.
that hadn't dawned on me at all. Oh, fuck. And I went home and thought about it and was like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm probably not the type.
Oh,
like,
shit, dude.
Yeah, I'd be.
I wanted to be a cop when I was like 6, not when I was 17.
No, I was like, I went through, because I was playing golf and shit. I was in shape. I was
Yeah,
like,
bro.
Yeah, I got an uncle who's a fucking awesome
Golf
cunt.
cop.
Golf cop, bro.
Elvis Shredley. Golf cop.
Wouldn't have ever become Elvis, bro.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Mr. Officer Shredley.
Oh,
I'm Officer Shredley from down the road.
I can automatically tell if I was given that much power, I'd be terrible.
No, you would be terrible. You'd be a fucking awful cop. I'm really glad that didn't happen.
Hard out.
Yeah.
And the worst part is that they would protect me.
Of course, that's how it works.
Yeah,
they all
so
circle around
that's
you.
the thing.
So when your missus called them up and was like, "My partner's beating me," they'd be like, "Oh yeah, do you want us to come fucking touch you up as well?"
yeah. They probably would have saved me.
Yeah.
So no, I don't have a lot of love for them, but I feel like it's one of those, like you said, when you need them, you need them. But it's very rare that they ever hit the level of their job.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about saving that chick in Carterton? I was driving home from a gig, and there was a dude in a fucking high-vis, and we seen him talking to some young girls. I played it like a school gig, like a young people youth group gig or something,
Sure.
community initiative. And as we were driving, I saw this dude in a high-vis dive at like a 15-year-old and grab her by the throat and smash her into the wall. And I told my partner at the time, pull the fucking car over. She pulled it, jumped out, and I just yelled. I was like, bro, get the fuck off her. And he just gapped it. And I tried to run after him.
Yeah.
Clearly
just
no
instincts,
chance.
bro. Yeah,
no
yeah.
chance. He just took off. So I come back and this girl's against the wall trying to breathe. We ring the cops and they're like, oh, yeah, nah.
Sounds like a bit of a lover's quarrel, really.
We don't really have any in Carterton.
Yeah, any cops.
And I was like, what, like, at all? And we're right, we can walk around the corner to the police station. He's like, yeah, it's going to take a while to get there. Just get her to go home. And it was like, bro, this chick has been attacked randomly on the street by some cunt at the throat. And your response is, tell her to
go home. She'll have a cup of tea.
Poor
She'll
cunts,
be all right.
man. You feel sorry for those cops that end up in those situations that they have to be pieces of shit. But, hey, go play guitar on a beach. That other fella did it. Seems lovely.
You could do that, bro.
Before we kick into a thing, I need to show you something hilarious.
Do we need to take a break, or what do you got?
We'll do this before the break.
Okay, what do we got?
As I've said, one of my people that I'm not a fan of, and I don't think we would get along just because I say bro, is Mr. Seymour, David.
We have a David Seymour update.
I didn't know that David Seymour cut his teeth in a think tank in Canada.
Well, it's unsurprising to me.
No, this is the part. Always you got to look for the helpers, bro. And this is what I want to point out. This motherfucker has a fake Canadian accent.
No.
Yeah, bro.
No,
I've saved the interview on my phone so I can show you.
When he's doing when he's in Canada doing the Canadian
yeah, you can hear it come on. No. Like he starts talking and it's like, that's fucking David Seymour, young as, like on Canadian TV. Sorry, my phone's just not being responsive because it's getting heaps of messages.
It's not going great.
Sorry about that, guys.
Could always edit this out.
Yeah, I might, but I do have to show you this because it came up just organically on my feed, and I was like, he is all shit and a sociopath.
Yeah, that's hard out, bro.
Like he goes, he doesn't like the Maldives, but he'll learn all this Chinese.
Yeah, bro.
Turns out the motherfucker spent all this time in Canada talking about stuff.
Crafting his Canadian accent to assimilate, bro.
Talking about. Bro, I've actually saved it twice because people have kept bringing it up.
Center for Public Policy. What are we talking about when we say credit?
Well, you start off with a borrower and a lender, and the borrower receives and agrees to pay back some amount of money with interest. The lender, on the other hand, agrees to give up spending now in exchange for a greater return in the future. Now, the interest rate is in the middle of all that. It's supposed to balance the risk of failure. So if some investments fail, on average, the lender gets his or her money back. If you thought, for example, that 1 out of 3 investments was going to fail, you'd need 50% return on the 2 successful investments to make up for the one you lost.
With me is
he's a riveting public speaker, isn't he? I mean, there's a little bit. I mean, I got it. There's a little bit in there. I don't know how long was he living there.
I don't know.
I reckon if he lived there for a couple of years, that little R that came in.
Have you seen that in his earlier days running, he would bring up his friends in Canada?
Right.
Well, someone recently has pointed out that Canadian think tank has connections to a company called the Atlas Group or some shit. And
yes.
Very right-wingy sort of, we want this shit. Man. And he's like, nah, there's no connection. And the internet has done what the internet does.
Of course.
And shown he's all shit. So that's just to top off my last week about how much I don't like that guy.
Well, speaking of last week, I also have a friend in Canada.
I've been trying real hard not to bring this up, and I'd like everybody to appreciate how I segued with a Canada thing.
Well done.
Oh, Canada. What up, Maple Leaf? What you got?
Well, I think Well, I said last week that I didn't want any feedback via direct message, and I was very happy that most people stuck to that. I thought that was great. But you, however, have been getting some feedback.
Oh, have I?
You want to talk about it?
Do you want me to just straight out say it?
Sure. However you want to do it.
You were wrong.
Oh, no.
You were suckered in, bro, by the fake news.
Yes.
So, for everyone out there, Elvis, full of shit ass, knows it, doesn't fight that, knows it. Jizzy, the logical scientist out of us two, turns out, sucked the fucking as well. What did you get sucked the fucking on, Jizrael Adesanya?
Now, it turns out that a couple of these Jordan B. Peterson tweets may not have been
Which
real.
one specifically?
Maybe most of them.
But which one riled us up the most? That was the most entertaining.
It was the "go fuck yourself" for discriminating
there's no voice
against
there
white
now.
people.
There's no Elmo.
I mean, would you like me to do the voice? I mean, absolutely,
Yes.
I could.
I think you owe Elmo an apology too.
So, speaking of doing the voice, I was thinking about leaving a voicemail from my car from Jordan B. Peterson, like, "You little twerps, you shouldn't be talking about me like that," which I was doing, but then, like, I was getting road rage while I was trying to do it, but I couldn't drop the Jordan Peterson voice, so I'm like, "Go! I said go! Oh, you could drive a bloody bus through there! Use your turn signal. That's what it's there for. You know, we have these rules for a reason. Without rules, we chaos, and that's not good."
See,
It's hard to stay road rage when you're doing that.
careful what you hate, people. You might turn into it.
Yeah.
That might be the shut up about what you hate.
Now look, there's a couple of things here. I have prepared an apology for this.
We just haven't heard the words, though, have we?
I don't know what words you mean specifically.
It's usually when you apologize, you say, "I'm sorry."
But here's the thing.
They haven't come out.
I've prepared an apology, and once you've heard that, then you can get all
Okay.
semantic and go, "I want to hear you say the S word." That would. Yeah,
I
that's
don't.
Up to
I
you.
think the people of the world and Canada do.
Listen, if we are, so you're coming at me because I have made a small factual error. Look, here's the thing.
No,
If we are
that's not why I'm coming at you.
If we are to share in the glory of our successes, so must we wallow
Yeah.
in the shame of our failures.
Yeah. No,
So
that's-
really, this
I'm-
reflects on both of us.
I'm
You
not,
also were
I'm
hoodwinked
not
by
laughing
this.
at you because you were factually inaccurate on this one thing for the first time in the entire time I've known you.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, that's totally what it is. Yeah, it's because this is the first time you've been wrong in the entire time I've
Look,
known you. That's
I-
why this is such a glorious fucking moment.
I can rationalize
That's
this and explain it, and honestly, I intend to. But also, I have prepared.
But when I'm the one getting the messages being like, you guys are wrong, and I'm like, oh, and I have to answer like we guys are wrong, don't worry. You're not on your own. It's just personally, as your friend,
So this guy,
moving on.
yeah. Look, I mean, I can talk a little bit more about this now, or we can play the apology first. What do you want? Should I talk a bit more now and then play the apology?
Talk a little.
Okay. Ben Shapiro, alt-right Dennis the Menace, his sister, Abby Shapiro, is an attractive lady.
Okay.
Which is to say she's got tig old bitties. She's a big, kind of a big heaving bosom, like a buxom, like screaming hot bazongas, like a big fucking titties. Anyways, she's...
If I look these up later and they...
Okay, just a word of warning. Through my own research, I have discovered that the nudes of her that exist aren't really her. They're just a lady who looks a lot like her.
You
So
really
just-
need to stop looking up AI of people.
Just
But-
be aware. No, that's a
Okay.
real lady. This predates AI.
Yeah, but you saw a tweet from...
So I saw a tweet from Ben Shapiro, what purported to be from Ben Shapiro, and it was a picture of his sister while she was she's like a trad wife lady,
Yeah.
right? Who's like you need to get married young, have a bunch of babies. It's the only way you'll be happy.
Do what your mum and dad said.
The people who follow her on Instagram and stuff are just like thirsty boys who are going like, show us your feet, get your sweater cows out, whatever they're saying. That's who her fans are. Even though she's doing this trad wife thing. So there's this picture of her. She's pregnant, and her bazongas have been digitally inflated just a little bit,
like Tomb Raider.
And yeah, bro. And then it's a retweet. It's like a quote tweet of Ben Shapiro going like, "My sister is so beautiful. I've been staring at this for hours." And I hate that little fucking cunt. Like
So
all those
real.
culture warriors, bro. I thought this was real, and I labored under that delusion for a few weeks, and then I discovered it was fake, and I was like, "Fuck! I fucking got me. I'm gonna be more careful." And I am normally. I'm
the
very
most
careful.
bro.
I'm careful
You are
about
the
fact
most-
checking stuff. I try not to believe stuff just because I like it. I check, I verify, and anybody I find bullshitting me, I block or mute, so that doesn't happen to me again.
Contextually, bro, having you do this is a lot like having a friend who's like as good as martial arts as like Bruce Lee,
Right.
And you have defeated your greatest enemy by
Slipped on a
punching
banana
him in
peel.
the dick, and now you're disqualified. And it's like he never punches people in the dick. He's really good at it.
No, look, I've tried to be better, and in the interest of having a little fun with the bro, might have got a bit carried away with my great
somehow
impression.
I knew
Look,
you getting sucked in is my fault.
yes, it is both of our fault.
Yeah, both
Do not forget that.
of our fault.
Yes. Okay. Perhaps this apology that I have prepared will say it more eloquently
And it
than I
comes
can.
from the both of us.
Yes, I like to think that it comes from Shut Up Dude as an organization. Let's just play it.
Yeah, I'm keen.
Okay.
Sweet.
Here at the Shut Up Dude podcast, we take factual accuracy very seriously. Over the last several episodes of our show, we have spread misinformation by presenting as real, defamatory, and fake tweets purported to be those of Jordan Peterson. Everything else you have heard on this show is 100% real. Our team, while dedicated, is actually very small and often focused on important research in the tunneling space. Here at the Shut Up Dude podcast, we would like to extend a formal and unreserved apology both to our valued listeners and to Dr. Jordan Bitch Tits Peterson. That good enough apology for you?
I take it back. I
Yeah.
don't know if I have anything to take back, but yep, that was brilliant. That was exactly what I think needed to be done.
Yeah. So
Yep.
this is, that apology is kind of for both of us.
Yeah,
Like from all of us here at the team.
Yeah.
I
Me,
did think-
you, and the four cunts on Pornhub.
I did think after all this that Jordan Peterson and I, we have a couple things in common. Did you see that tweet that he put up, and it was a bunch of dudes getting their cocks milked in like a horror scene factory
In
thing.
China?
And he's like, this is communist Chinese hell.
Yes.
But then it turns out that's just fetish porn
Yeah,
of like
dude.
guys getting milked. And he kind of, like in a way, I identify with him. That we
You
were
got
both kind of
sucked in, mate.
Yeah.
Hey.
And also there's we have other stuff in common. Like I also do not have a license to practice psychology.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
You do have that problem with not calling people what they want to be.
Alright, is that-
I think that has wrapped it up in a nice little bow, dude. Nice work.
Right.
I think we still send the Kermit the Frog one to Jordan.
Yeah, look, I've got it's in the works. Once it's on YouTube, it can go out into the wild. We'll see what happens.
If anybody out there has a Kermit the Frog doll or toy that they don't mind me dressing as Jordan Peterson,
I'd be sick for a video.
then you please message us. But
Yeah.
I will make this happen. I'd like to ask where you got the background music.
Oh, you can get royalty-free music of all kinds, and if you just kind of
It's hilarious, that like Fox News and shit have so many people doing their jobs
Yeah.
and trying to do this, and it's like you could just do it.
Yeah, I could do it.
Yeah.
I could save them a lot of money, honestly, if they.
That's
if they wanted to pick me
fucking
up.
incredible, dude.
I'm great. What do you want?
Okay, I think moving on. Do we have any other news? Or
I don't know
any
if we've got any
crap?
other news. There's tunnel talk, obviously. Now, that doesn't necessarily... We don't have to do that right now if there's stuff that we want to talk about. But
Yeah.
in my experience, people yearn for the tunnels. People are pretty fucking pumped on tunnel talk. They want to hear it.
The amount of people who message us saying, "Hey, I don't know where you guys got this tunnel thing, but I'm here for it." But you have prepared
Yes, look, I've prepared...
something controversial, really.
Well, can you improve on perfection is a question that I was asking myself, right? The first Tunnel Talk stinger is perfect.
Yes.
Like, there's not room for improvement. However, the talking about tunnels, thinking about tunnels, researching tunnels, going through tunnels, I feel very inspired. And there was, we're getting messages. We're getting messages that say, "Hey, your podcast is fine. Tunnel Talk is great. Why don't you guys just do Tunnel Talk?" And honestly, I pitched that before we started. You were like, "No, that's crazy."
Yeah.
Now we don't have to do Tunnel Talk for a whole episode, but it was thinking about this that people want Tunnel Talk so bad. Like that was what inspired. That's what inspired this new.
I looked at it differently, and the other people who have the people that have said, "Hey, you should just do Tunnel Talk the whole time."
Yeah,
those people don't get up to much, so I can see why. Like, I don't know. I think I've said it to you before. Like there's those that yearn for the mines and yearn for the tunnel.
They yearn for the tunnel,
and then there's those that just yearn for the shaft.
Yeah, I suppose.
So when you're like, "Hey, I would rather listen to you guys do what I want," well, that's not how this works.
No, of course not. However, that is what inspired this tune. Now, I do have exciting news, possibly before Tunnel Talk. I don't know. We have sponsorship. I have an ad read.
What?
Yeah. Should I just jump right into it?
Fucking A, you should.
Guys, Lockheed Martin. Guys, if you want to kill poor people, Lockheed Martin is your best bang for your buck in the sector. Now, you might be thinking, Chizzy, I'm a peaceful person. I'm not overly wealthy. I don't have any need for this kind of technology. Okay, well, stop there because you're already a customer, right? This is like when the All Blacks are sponsored by AIG. You can't get insured by AIG. They only insure insurance companies. That's kind of how this is. It's not for you, but you are kind of involved. Like, you're not involved, but you are involved. But back to cluster munitions for a moment. You are already a valued customer of Lockheed Martin via the taxes extorted from you by a state who will send that money to Israel and Ukraine. You're not involved, but you are involved. Go to lockheedmartin.com. Use the promo code TUNNELS for 20% off your next cluster munitions.
I'm actually quite worried now that you've been talking to Dick Cheney.
Don't worry. Just check your bank account later, and we'll see. Look, your tax money is going on weapons. Why not Lockheed Martin weapons?
That is the greatest pitch you've ever come up with.
Yeah.
It's going to be funny when we can't do the podcast anymore, though, because you work in America. They just need you on everything.
Yeah.
That's hilarious,
bro,
mate.
I was listening
Holy
to
shit.
other podcasts, and they'll be like, they're trying to bro down with their listeners and be like, it's you and me, listeners. And then it comes to ad time, and they're like, guys, gambling. Gambling and smoking.
Yeah.
You want to get addicted to nicotine? Of course you do. And they do these like friendly boy ads for like vices that are going to harm the people that listen to them.
DraftKings, MeUndies.
Yeah, bro, of course. Yeah.
Manscaped.
Fake therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All that stuff.
It's almost as if podcasts are an excuse not to do stuff like work or lift up things and get dirty.
Yeah.
That's fucking funny. Hey, if Lockheed Martin hear this, we will take your money.
I'm not going to be able to not fuck around, but I will take your money.
Hard out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like worse versions of Bill Burr. Like if someone pays us to do an ad, we will fuck your ad and give your money back.
We'll fuck it up. Now, You've heard I can bring the sunshine and I can bring the fucking thunder. So you be careful if you're coming to me with a sponsorship deal.
Yeah. Oh, the yin yang of shut up, dude.
Yeah, bro.
He can bring the sunshine or the thunder.
Look, you think I can't bring a jingle? I can bring a jingle.
Oh, I reckon you should just. Maybe we should start getting you to just make jingles for companies that have already paid for jingles.
Oh yeah.
And we'll make them more synonymous with their brand, and fuck with their shit.
How do we get money from that?
By changing the jingles to really offensive truths about these businesses.
Oh, I like that.
Like you could do Jib, Jib, plasterboard and shit.
I don't know what their jingle is.
But they're owned by Fletcher's.
Yeah.
who own placemakers.
Those Fletchers, they're all crooks. Yeah.
Well, their whole board just stepped down.
Yeah. Again.
Because apparently they were being dicks through COVID.
Oh, I find that very hard to believe.
Do you know about the there was a building, like a suburb being built in Auckland during lockdown where nobody could get any jib. No one. There was no jib.
Yeah, nobody could get jib kind of all through COVID.
Yeah. Except
Fletcher's projects, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now these houses had framing timber up, no roofs, and all of their jib was sitting wrapped on the lawns.
Oh!
12 houses in a cul-de-sac. And this TikTok builder, I can't remember, NZ Builder might be his name.
Sure.
I can't remember, it's spelt weird. But yeah, he popped in the cul-de-sac to go do his job and was like, the fuck is this? And filmed this, like, just tons of jib everywhere in a Fletcher build.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, go, fucking dodgy
Yeah, that
fuckers.
cook's alright.
But you could make a thing for jib and be like, there ain't many alternatives and we'll just rip you off, like however you want to do it. I don't know, but yeah, placemakers being owned by Fletchers and having the highest amount of jib.
Yeah. It's vertical integration, bro. It's capitalism. It's good.
Oh, you can make up words and stuff that work to whatever, synergy.
Yeah, it's like, big synergy situation.
Big synergy. Yeah, but then when those dudes are doing that and builders are ready to go and murder them, and then a couple years later, all of those guys are like, oh, yeah, we're stepping down. We fucked it. And it's like, we know you fucked it. We watched you fuck it.
Yeah, we were there.
We were there.
Yeah, you kind of acted like it was fine.
You know, in the past 2 years, bro, over 200 building companies have folded.
Yeah, it's not.
That's not supposed to happen. That's ratchet. And these, but this is what I'm saying. We could find out if Jib have a jingle.
Yeah.
You could make one.
Yeah.
And if they don't pay us, we change all the words.
Yeah, to make it a savage takedown.
Is that extortion?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not saying we shouldn't do it.
I think it's fine if you do it publicly.
Right.
If we were to go all backwater at the end of it and go the other way, that might be different. Hey, I've got to pause for a break here. Just a sec. Sorry.
Let's jump back in with Tunnel Talk.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear the segments prior.
I love you, dude. If it all goes tits up, we walk down the aisle to this.
The tunneling part. In my heart I have but one desire. An underground tube, the dank and the gloom. Tunnel Talk, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, I get to do the podcast with my favorite person.
Ah,
Holy shit, cuz.
Shut up. That's not important. What's important is
so
Tunnel
good.
Talk.
That's so good. Where we got?
We kept the people waiting long enough. Now, there was two things I was gazing this week, a couple of things that I was looking at.
You can hear the excitement.
Oh, bro, I'm so fucking keen. Like I
go,
said.
go.
So I was looking at two types of... I mean, tunnels have various uses. Just as an aside, maybe at the start of Tunnel Talk here, I'm building a secret door at my house.
Sick.
And you know why.
Mm-hmm.
So moving on, I was looking at escape tunnels and smuggling tunnels. And today I want to talk about escape tunnels, and maybe next week we'll get into some smuggling tunnels.
Yeah, sick.
There's a really famous one that was made into a film called The Great Escape.
Is that Alcatraz?
No, it's Stalag Luft is where they...
Oh, where they break out
so
of the concentration
back when the
camp?
Germans were getting rowdy in the 40s, and they...
Yeah,
locked
that's what
people
they
up.
did,
They get that, they got a little rowdy. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, there's this... so there was a guy, this fella Bushel, he tunneled out in like 1941. They dug this escape tunnel out of this place, and like 17 of them, I think, went through this tunnel. And this guy Bushel, he wanted to end up somewhere else once he'd escaped. So while they were going out through the tunnel, he cut a hole in the fence and he snuck out. They all got captured. All the people who went through the tunnel and him, they all got captured, right? So they take him back to this same place, Stella Luft or whatever it is. They try again, and then in 1943, and this is the one that they made the film.
Yeah.
They make this tunnel, and so the tunnel first is like over 100 meters long to get out. This guy Bushell, right? He's played in The Great Escape by Richard Attenborough. I have a quote from him here when he's talking. So he rallied the troops because there's a bunch of officers and stuff in the POW camp.
Richard Attenborough, is that David's brother?
He's the guy in, I believe so. He's the guy in Jurassic Park who takes them in the helicopter. He's like, there. That fellow with the big beard and the cane, necromancer looking dude.
Yeah.
Just in that, he's got like a cool staff and shit.
Yeah, it's fucking amber on the top of it.
Anyways, he gets all these people. He falls back on his legal background to represent his scheme to the other officers, and he calls a meeting of the escape committee. And he declares to these people, everyone here in this room is living on borrowed time, except, crucially, while he was played by Richard Attenborough, in real life, he was South African. So if I could just take that again.
Is that whitewashing?
Yeah, sort of. So he said, everyone here in this room is living on borrowed time. By rights, we should all be dead. The only reason that God allowed us this extra ration of life is so we can make life hell for the Hun. In North Compound, we are concentrating our efforts on completing and escaping through one master tunnel. No private enterprise tunnels are allowed. 3 bloody deep, bloody long tunnels will be dug. Tom, Dick, and Harry. One will succeed.
Holy shit.
Bro, and this fired up the boys. They dug 3 full tunnels because the rationale was they're going to discover a full-ass tunnel. They're not going to think we've got 2 more.
Yeah.
Like, they'll find one and they'll go, we stopped their tunnel.
That makes total sense.
Yeah, but
a lot of admin.
The answer, like always, is just more tunnels. Like, they can find the first tunnel.
We've worked out
have 2 more.
they are that. They're our tool against the world.
Yeah, so this guy, this fella Bushell, they were trying to get 200 guys out of there. They ended up digging it 30 meters deep because the Nazis, they knew they'd tunneled out before, and they had like tunnel detecting microphones all around the camp. So if you dig a tunnel like 5 meters down, they'll hear you. So they dug like 30 meters down, bro, and it's over 100 meters long.
See, this is why that Rolling Stones article was like, every time the story is tunnels, it turns into like this massive story of humans overcoming these insurmountable odds.
Yes, so, like through tunnels.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But like, America, piece of shit, goes to fucking take cunts on, loses the tunnels.
Yeah.
Humans in dire situations, like rowdy Germans rolling you up in camps, tunnels.
Yeah. So this guy, Bushell, I'm not sure if it was him now.
Sorry, just crack it up.
Right.
If like, remember in The Matrix, the movie The Matrix?
Yeah.
The reason that the humans are underground is because in order to stop the AI robots that were solar powered, we scorched the sky so they couldn't get it.
Yeah.
What do they do after that? Tunnels.
They do. Yeah, they tunnel close to the Earth's core.
Yeah, yeah. And because the temperature of the Earth's core stops them being detected by the robots and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Bro, we might need to start taking some notes.
It's all throughout folklore. It's all throughout our history.
Yeah.
The greatest resistances toward advanced imperialism in our age have been aided by tunnels.
Yeah, dude.
Vietnam, Afghanistan, Hamas.
Yeah.
Bro,
it's insane how it's like a default.
Yeah.
Like, we're up against an unstoppable force.
We'll go Badger mode.
Right
away.
Yeah. But this is what gets me. And win.
Yes.
tunnels, man.
That's because that's all it takes. So this
I don't want.
I don't want to hear the segments prior.
Fuck.
I want to hear the tunneling part.
It's just there's something really invigorating about it too. Like
Tunnel talk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even just when you told me about the Vietnam stuff.
Yeah.
I found this story of an American vet who got captured in Vietnam trying to get into the tunnels.
Oh.
And they took him back to the camp and tied him to one of their fucking thingies.
Yeah.
And every time they talked to him, all he would do is sing like Old MacDonald.
Okay.
Like round and round.
Right.
Yeah. And they thought he had lost his mind, and they basically left him in the corner of the fucking prison camp and didn't give two shits, because anytime anyone tried to engage with him, Old MacDonald. Yeah. Turned out he'd memorized every single prisoner's name, and it was what is it? Is it mnemonic? Mnemonic, yeah. He'd done that and had put everyone's name
to a different part of Old MacDonald.
Yeah, and was just trying to remember everybody in their camp or some shit. So if anybody ever got away, he was able to be like, bro, fucking Dave was there, Bill was there, Jeff was there. And it was, they all thought he was insane. And then he got home and was like, we need to go save these people.
Yeah,
and
go Bill and Dave.
Yeah, and he knew all of them, and it was that was how he dealt with it.
Yeah.
And it just cracked me up. It was like, probably didn't have to do that if you didn't try and fight tunnels, but awesome to see what coming up against adversity has done for you. Like, I've been trying to tell people at work, like, anytime something happens, you should do that Jocko Willink. You know him, eh? Jocko, ex-fucking Marine Jiu-Jitsu specialist.
No idea
Crazy.
what you're talking about.
Oh, he's just a real awesome ex-military guy that does podcasts, sort of like Shapiro and Andrew Tate.
How good is his tunneling segment?
Pretty awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, he just talks about having to go through tunnels made by other people and shit. And like, yeah, he's the shit. But one of his things is that no matter what happens to you, anywhere ever, good.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you didn't get the fucking high-tech gear? Good.
Yeah, sure.
You can prepare without it. Yeah. But sorry, I sort of hijacked.
Right.
It's just the amount of stuff from like, we'll do tunnel talk, I'll listen to something else, I'll look it up, and everything from it is just a better version of people than like anything the fuck else, like My Kitchen Rules or sport or
yeah.
It's
so
just
there's
nothing.
There's a tangential person in this story whose name I don't have right now, but he was an actor, and him and a couple other guys put on like terrible pantomimes
to give time for people to escape,
so that the POWs would be like booing and hissing, and that would cover up the sound of the night tunneling.
Yeah.
So they'd do a show, they'd get booed all night just so that these guys could build this huge tunnel.
What was that cunt's name? I've heard of that.
I can't remember. I've lost it now.
Anyway.
But I did think that was super interesting. That's kind of made, like, that's in, I don't know if it's still in the zeitgeist, but, you know, it became a thing. It became a massive movie with Charlie Bronson and shit. There's this cool-ass rail system under
Paul
there,
Newman in it?
I don't know. I honestly haven't seen it. I'm intending
to. I feel like
haven't
Paul
seen
Newman's in it. But
that'd be good homework. We watch The Great Escape. That could even be like, fuck it, we'll talk after. But they had like a rail system in there as well, because it's a crawling.
Yeah.
You can't carry a bucket through there. It's little. So they have like wooden rails, and then they build a little cart which its wheels like hug the rails. So it's like a little train cart, dude.
Amazing.
That they're able to pull with ropes and stuff. It's so cool. Yeah, and they're doing it all super deep down. Really risky, but they wanted their freedom.
It's just everything about it, always.
Yeah.
More fascinating every time.
Yes. And there's another one that really caught my interest in the realm of escape tunnels, and that's El Chapo.
Oh,
do you know about El Chapo's tunnel?
I know a little bit about his tunnel.
Dude, he's this drug lord. Like his cartel
isn't he the I don't know, in terms of cartel top dogs?
He's the top dog.
But he's like Pablo Escobar, and then El Chapo was the next like notable one, right?
He's one of the best known for sure.
That's a D1 draft drug dealer, eh?
Yeah, bro, he's right up there.
Yeah, his Hall of Fame ballot one.
I saw a map that was like a representation of their territory, and it was most of Mexico. There's some other cartels, but theirs is a lot bigger.
I have seen things with cartels who are like, if you dig 3 tunnels, they'll only they'll find one and think they did it.
Yeah. Yes. So we'll talk about that with smuggling tunnels. And El Chapo was a fucking wizard with those as well, bro. Like his cartel's big on tunnels. So we'll talk about him a bit more.
Why wouldn't you be?
But the escape tunnel in particular. Well, and that's the thing about it. By the time they go to dig his escape tunnel, they've already been digging smuggling tunnels the whole time.
Yeah,
They're
dude.
expert tunnelers, dude. So he's in this maximum security prison in like 2015. And they tunnel in and get him out. So you watch the surveillance footage, and he kind of like wanders around, and he changes his shoes, and then he goes into the shower, and he disappears. And 25 minutes later, they're like, "What the fuck is he doing?" They go in there, and that's the sound of the police. And they go in and they check the cell, and and there's just a fucking hole in the floor of his shower with a wooden ladder. So they climb down this, and at the bottom, they find a tunnel that is electrically lit, ventilated, contains a railway system with a motorbike. So it's first the
Wait a
tunnel.
minute, these are Mexicans, eh?
These are Mexicans.
Yeah, of course.
So the tunnel is 5 foot.
Impressive.
The tunnel is
but
5'6", which is El Chapo's exact height. So he can boost through the tunnels. But if you're following him, like you have to send the short kings. You have to send the tunnel rats.
The tunnel rats.
You can't just send like big beefy prison guards down. They
No,
can't fucking
won't
follow
work.
him. But more than that, he's got a motorbike in there that's attached to the rails. So this tunnel is only like wide enough for him to boost down, but he can go at motorbike speed. And he's gone.
At this point, they should just let him go.
The tunnel is 1.5 kilometers long, making it the longest escape tunnel used by anybody.
We're wasting our
and
life.
he's boosting. He's probably doing like 80 k's an hour down there, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So he's fucking gone. Like I don't think they have him back. Yeah,
Fuck,
dude.
he deserves
so
it.
after 25 minutes, he is so gone.
So gone.
Yeah. When they do
All I
look
can
for
imagine
him,
right now, though, is
Yeah.
the security guards being like, "Well, which one of you is 5'5"? Like, it's just the weird argument between. Well, you're smaller than me. You're a prison guard. You're insecure about your size. That argument goes for fucking at least 26 and a half minutes.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I just realized while you were talking about it that, like, because that's buzzed me out,
Yeah.
bro. How have we not brought up one of the coolest tunnel movies? Shawshank, dog. Have
Well,
you?
it's fictional, but it's fucking cool.
Yeah. It's still Stephen King, this amazing writer.
Yeah.
And he writes this fucking cool ass amazing story.
Yeah.
Who saves the fucking day?
Well, a tunnel, technically. The tunnel is the good guy in that story.
This is at the point where I think we should start calling anybody having enjoyment in this tunnel and tunnel related segments or talk, we should call it the Tunnelingus. That's going on a shirt. Jizzy's going to get mad about it, and I'm going to get one for his kid.
You're taking something pure and you're introducing something dirty, filthy, despicable.
Yeah. It's like how making love's awesome and it's really cool and real wholesome.
Right.
But choking makes it way more fun. See? Same deal. Same deal.
Okay. Look, you're free to refer to things however you want.
Cream pies are fun, but
I mean, Tunnelingus is like
fucking cool too.
I guess.
You started this.
No, you definitively started it. I was having a good
I think
time
if you listen
talking.
to me, if you listen to me properly, I'm finishing. You got me excited with all this cool tunnel shit.
I had wholesome talk about tunnels, which is what the audience
For
craves
the
for
last
a time.
time, bro, you can have a wholesome wank. I don't know why that's so hard for you to hold on to.
Yeah.
Every time something's sexual, you're like, oh, it's so yucky and crude. It's like, okay, Catholic.
Man, tunnels are one of the few things that are not corrupted by this sick perversion that you have in your
How many
head.
tunnels have been used for sex trafficking? Have you checked that the fuck out yet?
Well, we're going to talk about the smuggling tunnels next week.
How many rapes have been committed in tunnels? Someone just yelled from
I don't
the
have
cheap
that
sheets.
figure in front of me.
But like, okay, have a guess. But I think like
6.
sitting here and glorifying tunnels, which they are, deserved, but tunnels evidently just
But
like
tunnels,
tools.
Sorry, carry on.
Tunnels are like tools. Evidently, you can do one to save heaps of people or hit yourself in the dick. It's like a hammer.
Right.
You can have good tunnels. You can have bad tunnels. You can have bad acts perpetrated in tunnels.
no,
Not the tunnel's fault.
No.
So me being all like,
there are only good tunnels that
and
could
you're
get
acting
used.
like that's a bad thing.
Well,
What's your fucking
well,
fun,
then,
quick
hey,
name?
look, let's agree to disagree. You can call it tunnelingus, and you can make those shirts.
Hey, Shut Up Dude calls it tunnelingus. There you go. Yeah. And at the bottom of the shirt it says endorsed by Jizrael Adesanya.
The people now, I'm not. Jizzy isn't short for Jizrael; it's short for Ghislaine.
It fucking is now. Ghislaine.
Yeah,
Why would you tell me that?
I don't know.
Nah. How's Jeff?
Who's Jeff?
Yeah, exactly. Nice work there, Ghislaine. Who's Jeff? That's what she says.
Oh yeah,
No, I don't know. Jizrael just seems perfect for you. But Ghislaine, oh, that's even better.
well,
You could be Ghislaine Jaxwell.
I mean that's not bad.
A good rap name.
It's not too bad. I don't mind that. Hey,
I'm really stoked with how, like, you've managed to separate it. Oh, you got escape tunnels and you got smuggling tunnels.
yeah,
And as pointed out, there's probably, sex trafficking tunnels or freeing the slave tunnels.
there'll be
But
more. Yeah.
there's, like, I don't know. This is going to sound real bad that fuck it, I'm all in. The sex trafficking tunnels is due to one guy thinking he's in such a terrible environment he can commit crimes to justify, the ends justify the means. So he's up against some terrible adversity, probably America, and sex trafficking tunnels is his, like, it's the same way to get his life sorted. Tunnels is what he thinks he needs to achieve in order to get his goal. Tunnels is a tool of humanity that we've just ignored. You can do it to save people, and you can do it to enslave them, evidently.
Okay, well, why don't you come next week for Tunnel Talk with the sex trafficking tunnel stories?
I'll see what I can find.
Yeah, because
I'll probably get flagged on Google.
well,
but
I think you're probably already flagged. But I don't know
that's
if
true.
I don't know if that's like a note. I mean, it probably exists, but yeah,
Well,
whatever.
What's like? El Chapo wasn't a nice guy.
I mean, he deals like heroin and crack
See?
and coke, and
See?
I mean, sounds pretty cool. He does sound pretty cool.
Yeah. If you were like
Sounds like a cool guy.
hanging out with him, but if you were like needing,
Well, just
to
even like
buy
he's
heroin
increasing
or
the
crack.
supply of drugs in the world. I think that's pretty cool, man.
when fucking Pablo Escobar was doing it. Do
Yeah.
you know how much money that guy was spending on rubber bands per week to hold his money?
No, I don't.
It's like $6,000. Like, it's an absurd amount of money. Yeah. And I don't know if you've seen the movie Bad Boys
So
2.
we're gonna fact check you on that?
Go for it. I don't give a fuck.
No, not me.
Yeah, you can't. You lost all credibility. Yeah. In Bad Boys 2, there's a scene. It's Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, and the cartel guy. He stores all his money at his house because he doesn't trust banks. And it turns out
the
rats
same
are
thing.
eating it.
Oh yeah.
And he's real pissed off. Like, this is a fucking stupid problem to have.
Yeah.
That's completely inspired by Pablo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I think it's interesting that, sex trafficking tunnel, kind of horrifying. El Chapo, he had a motorbike. It's like, bro.
But you don't know if he was sex tracking. He was definitely running drugs. That's super fucking cool. He
I'd
was getting out
say
of jail.
he wasn't
That's
really
super cool.
nice on, like, it's Sunday when you had a barbecue. I
Yeah.
reckon you don't want him to come
Hey,
around.
by the way, I'm not even necessarily saying he's a good guy. I'm saying
No,
he's
no.
a cool guy.
Yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. It's just how I was saying, like, I brought up the idea of sex trafficking tunnels.
Yeah.
And you were like,
Well, I don't like the
recoiled.
idea. I'm
Yeah, but
uncomfortable
this
around
dude,
it.
like, who sells
It's like-
heroin and makes the world worse on a way bigger level, you were like, he's got a bike.
The
went in the shower,
mechanism is awesome.
disappeared.
I'm separating the art from the artist.
Oh, fucking yeah. Nah, you are.
It's
You
killer,
are.
bro. It's
You are.
probably the fastest anyone's gone in
In
a
a
tunnel
tunnel.
that small.
Yeah. Until Elon achieves the Boring Company.
Don't bring up Elon and his fucking disgrace to tunneling. I'm not
we'll
ready
just
to talk.
go back
I'm
to
not
this
ready to talk
fucking
about it.
terrible piece of shit drug dealer. Who
I can't believe you're taking this side. Hey, look, if we don't
taking
have
the side. No, the tunnel's awesome, but it's for a piece of shit.
Okay, bro. I think we'll have to agree to disagree.
Are you about to tell me that you still don't mind, like, music made by people that you know are pieces of
Here's
shit.
the thing.
I get it. Ignition to Remix is a great one by R. Kelly.
Before the show, you were like, let's not just fucking go at each other. And you're saying stuff that pisses me off.
This isn't going.
You are just bringing shade on the tunnels. You're going, I'm going, look at these six. I'm going, look at this beautiful escape tunnel. You're going, yeah, but people use them to rape people. I'm like, well, that's not what I'm fucking talking about, is it?
I said they're tools. Some people use them for good. Some use them for bad. One example was sex trafficking. And you were like, oh, I don't know about that. And I was like, yeah, but this heroin guy's
No,
fine?
you started by saying tunnelingus, and then when I didn't react to it in a way that you deemed appropriate, you started talking about rape tunnels.
I was saying they can be combined. There's two aspects to tunnels.
I think I'm done with tunnel talk.
Oh, I think someone's getting a little upset. Yeah, this is what happens when you... This is why Jizzy can't be wrong. Because as soon as he is, he acts like a fucking
I'm right about the tunnels. I'm right about the tunnels.
You are. They're beautiful and amazing. And people fucking take beautiful and amazing and make it terrible all the time. Look at Justin Roiland.
I don't want to hear the segments prior. I just want to hear the tunneling part. In my heart I have but one desire. An underground tube, the dank and the glue.